We welcome you back. Oktoberfest, we were just talking about Oktoberfest. October is National Bullying Prevention Awareness Month. It is an important topic. It is one that is close to my heart, and today we are going to talk about a few ways that hopefully we can get ahead of the problem instead of just reacting to it. And our friend Jeff Ryland is back with us today with some advice. So you and I are both members of the Coulee Region Compassion Alliance.
Right.
And
we're both wearing orange.
We're both wearing orange, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we renamed that group because originally we were talking about bullying. We talked about bullying, and we decided that we wanted to make it more about ways that we can prevent bullying by being more compassionate.
Right. We used to be the Bullying Prevention Task Force. We said, you know, we don't want to teach people what not to do. We want to teach them what to do. And compassion or kindness is really the antidote. It's the solution to bullying, because bullying can't exist if we are kind to one another.
You talk a lot about this in your job over at Gunderson. I know you deal with a lot of ways we can do this at school, ways we can do this at home, ways siblings can be kinder to each other, which I know is a big problem for a lot of families. In this month when we are stressing compassion so much, some important tips.
I think that it would be really helpful for kids. And parents and teachers and other adults in their lives have to be monitoring this. But when kids get it right, to recognize it, so that when kids show kindness, when they show patience, when they show tolerance, when they show respect towards others, it's what we want them to do. And we shouldn't be thinking, well, they should know that. We have to recognize it. And to that, I mean, just acknowledge that they're doing the right thing, rather than correcting them when they get it wrong all the time.
It sounds easy. But we forget sometimes to praise the good instead of just critique and punish the bad.
Right.
But you've got a great little example of something that we can all do to kind of remind ourselves of the good things that are happening in our house and encourage it.
Right. It's called a kindness chain.
Okay, so here I'm going to get your prop for you, because we've got a couple of these made.
Right. And so what we do, what families can do, what classrooms can do, is just every time, and they can do this daily, where every child or family member identifies one thing that they saw another member of the family do that was kind, or the child can identify a thing they did that day that was kind. And they simply take that one thing, and I wrote here, I appreciate how much effort Jennifer has put into preventing bullying over the last 4 years, and then put it together and staple it, and then they just, there, done.
And what I love is, you know, if you have kids at home, you start with something that's just 2. And then they see it grow, and they see it grow, and it looks cool, and they realize that the things that they're doing at home are making this thing grow, and they want to do these things.
Right.
They start wanting to be more compassionate.
Exactly. It really becomes a visual so that they can see the good growing, rather than, oh, I wasn't bad today, I wasn't bullying today, but I did something, and look at how it's growing. And it's not so much praise, it's just acknowledging getting it right.
And parents can do this too. I mean, if you do something that deserves praise, I think you're such a good example for your kids to see, like, Mom opened the door for somebody today. Mom helped somebody at the grocery store today. You are your kids' best examples and somebody that they see every day. And so this is such a good idea, clever and easy. We want to talk about another thing that's happening, which is we're wearing orange today.
Right.
But we want to encourage everybody to wear orange this year on Unity Day, which is October 19th.
Correct.
We had T-shirts that were in the parade this year, Compassion Lives Here T-shirts. And I know that it's just one day, but to be able to see everybody coming together wearing orange in support of this cause, it kind of brings some unity together, doesn't it?
And I think that's the intention. And you don't have to have the orange T-shirt. Just wearing the color orange that day is a way of saying, I get it. I understand the importance of everyone being on the same page, everyone standing for compassion and not for bullying behavior.
So do it in your house. If we have school administrators or teachers watching on the 19th, encourage your kids in your schools to wear orange and talk about things that you can do in your schools to be positive role models for those children and be more accepting and be more compassionate.
Yes.
And then you are going to come back one more time here in a couple weeks. Give us a little preview of what you'll be talking about then.
We are very fortunate to have a screening of the film Reject, which is a documentary, and it looks at the impact of the experience of rejection, what it's like to be socially ostracized. And it, of course, relates to bullying, because kids who oftentimes experience rejection wind up at least oftentimes they're bullied, and it takes a look at the impact of children who are bullied or children who experience rejection. So we'll be showing that screening at the Weber Center on November 3rd in the evening. It's free to the public, and we'll have a whole half-day workshop just before that. We have a social psychologist from Purdue University, Dr. Kip Williams, who is like the lead researcher on the whole science of rejection, talking about his findings. So it'll be very exciting for us.
Isolation can be one of the worst things of all. And this film really takes a look at that. So we'll be back with Jeff in a few weeks to talk about that. But we thank you for this great idea, for always your great thoughts and your positivity that you always exude. So thanks for being here, Jeff.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Also, by the way, when you wear orange on the 19th, which I hope you do, share those photos with us on our Facebook page. And we'll be talking more about Unity Day as it gets closer. But mark the date on your calendar, October 19th. We'll be back with another check on our forecast coming up.